What's up everybody, welcome to the Fomo Factory. When alt season? It's the big question, of course. A lot of people, they love to YOLO into altcoins. They are super surprised when they in the bear market lose money with altcoins, but they keep on buying the dip and the dip and the dip. And once it goes up a little bit, they say alt season. It's not really what's happening right now, and I would like to go over when do we actually see an alt season, and if it turns out that we won't see a big alt season anytime soon, how to make money with crypto anyway. So that's what we're gonna discuss. If you like the content, like the video already, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification, and let's get right into it. The chart that I have in front of me looks like, what the fuck have you right in front of you? These are two charts. These bars is the Bitcoin dominance, and the orange line is Bitcoin. Now, the Bitcoin dominance is showing how much Bitcoin is dominating the crypto space. So 49.31% according to TradingView. Now, I will remove Bitcoin first to make it a little clear for you. So the Bitcoin dominance is now sitting at around 50%. The higher the Bitcoin dominance, the more Bitcoin is dominating. So if you want to see an alt season, what you want to see is that the Bitcoin dominance is going down pretty hard. And if we can be very picky, then that happens while Bitcoin itself is going up. That's an insane alt season. And if you ask me, alt season is a little overused word, because technically when the Bitcoin dominance is going down, then altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin, and technically that's an alt season. But can you call this an alt season? Can you call this an alt season, or this, or one of these spikes here? I don't really know. So what if we do come down now to the lows again? Is that an alt season? Well, again, yeah, technically it is an alt season, but I'm talking about the bull market alt season where things go insane. I think maybe most of the viewers of this channel haven't even experienced that yet. That's crazy. That's like really crazy, because we all know how easy it is to lose money in crypto. It can go very fast. When you look at your portfolio, one day you have $1,000, next day you have $400. That happens. But it can also be the other way around. And that happens for multiple days, weeks in a row, months. And that's what happens during an alt season. Now, in my opinion, a real alt season haven't occurred that many times. We had a very big alt season over here. That was basically when Ethereum really came to the party. We had a big alt season over here, and we had a big alt season over here. So far, we haven't really seen that yet. And if I look at this chart, the Bitcoin dominance is still sitting more towards its lows than towards its highs. Now, will the dominance ever get back here? I highly doubt it, and that's purely because there weren't really many altcoins out here. Then, we had Litecoin, we had Dogecoin, but it was, but really when Ethereum hit the market good, then we started seeing alt seasons. Now, in my opinion, it is very possible for Bitcoin dominance to go up. I am thinking about between 57 and 60% at least. Could it even go to 70%? You know, if it turns out that Bitcoin is doing amazing because of, I don't know, the ETF or something like that, and that altcoins are all securities, and like there's always a narrative. It is possible. Definitely, but I do not think that it's going any way higher than this. So in this video, I would like to, show you how I'm going to play this market if we do get an alt season, and if we don't get an alt season, how to prepare for that actually. So let's dive into that. As you may know, I've been very bearish on altcoins for the last year, and that has been good because altcoins got super wrecked, especially on their Bitcoin pair. So buying altcoins was not the smartest move, because we all know that out of all crypto, Bitcoin has the less risk, and like there is not one single exception, right? Less risk. Even Ethereum is not lower risk. But Bitcoin was also higher reward, and that's often during the pre-halving years. Now, if we look at the Bitcoin dominance, it's interesting that if you overlay Bitcoin on the Bitcoin dominance, you can see how it follows each other, basically. So if you look at these charts, whenever Bitcoin, lately, especially since this year and last year, whenever Bitcoin is going down, the Bitcoin dominance is also going down. When Bitcoin is going up, the Bitcoin dominance is going up. So it's following each other. And that says that altcoins are not good right now. Why? Well, there are two possibilities. Either Bitcoin goes up, then what happens? The Bitcoin dominance goes up. So Bitcoin outperforms altcoins. So again, you can take less risk to get higher reward if you just buy Bitcoin. Or Bitcoin goes down. Then yes, the Bitcoin dominance goes down as well, but if Bitcoin goes down on its USDT pair, we have seen that altcoins also go down on our USDT pair. Only thing is that if Bitcoin goes down a little bit, altcoins go down quite hard. It's what we've seen right now. Bitcoin is sitting at $26,000, but the altcoin market is sitting at the exact same level as where it was when Bitcoin was sitting at $16,000. So Bitcoin is up like $10,000. But the altcoin market is at the same place. So theoretically, if Bitcoin goes down to $16,000, how freaking wrecked are altcoins? And you could say like, oh, Bitcoin is not going down there. Well, one, you do not know that. And two, that's not really the point, because even if Bitcoin goes to 22K, which is, in my opinion, like, I'm pretty sure that happens. But, you know, I don't know. So in both scenarios, there is no good outcome for altcoins at this particular moment. Now, what we want to see is that Bitcoin and the Bitcoin dominance are decoupling from each other. And that's, for example, what we have seen here. So what you want to see is that the Bitcoin dominance is going down. So more money is going from Bitcoin into altcoins while Bitcoin is going up. So if you take a look at the last cycle, during the bull run, it's quite interesting, because during the bull run, like, you could have bought altcoins here when the Bitcoin dominance was sitting at 72%, but that's basically nuts, right? You want to buy altcoins when the Bitcoin dominance is also low. So what happened basically is that you could have ride this complete wave from 3K to like 40K with your Bitcoin. And then the Bitcoin dominance started to go down. Here, when the Bitcoin dominance started to go down, that was when Bitcoin was sitting at around $40,000, right? So, and even here, when Bitcoin was sitting already at $58,000 in March 2021. So if we take a look at March 2021, what do you see right there? That's here. That's where the Bitcoin dominance started to go down. But if you look at Bitcoin in March 2021, which was here, that was basically the high for Bitcoin. We had a second high over there, but it was not much of a difference. So there was not much more profit to make out of Bitcoin. In the meantime, however, the Bitcoin dominance went from 60% all the way to 40%. And that just 20%, but on the Bitcoin dominance, that's huge. So if we take a look at the total 3, for example, from March until the top, that was here. There, the altcoin market was sitting at 400, depends on when in March, by the way, because you can also say that it was sitting at 300 million. 300 million, right? But it went all the way to 1.12 trillion. So while Bitcoin didn't really move that much from there, the altcoin market did a clean 4x. And that's not like, oh yeah, my altcoin is just doing a 4x. I mean, you first made a 10x with your Bitcoin, and then you use that money, you make another 4x with your altcoins. Well, that's definitely not bad. Then you made a 40x. But there are, of course, also altcoins which were way lower cap. From March, they went completely parabolic, and they did way more than a 4x. Look, for example, at Arweave, right? We were in March 2021, and Arweave was sitting at around $4. No, sorry, that's not true. $14, give or take. But it went all the way to 90. So in that second peak where Bitcoin, as you can see, Bitcoin had its first peak over here and the second peak over there. It was, you know, basically a double top almost. It was 46.8 thousand, so 45,000. Here it was 65,000. Here it was 68.9 thousand. So it was almost a double top. A lot of altcoins look like this. This was the first top, but this was the second top. And that second top was like 4 times as high. So therefore, I am looking at the fact that maybe we should keep in consideration that Bitcoin always, like, you know these sheets, right? How a market cycle looks like. You first have Bitcoin, then you have Ethereum, then you have the high caps, and then you have the low caps. It's kind of what it is. It is kind of what it is, but that only applies in a bull market. And I see people throwing these pictures out right now as well. But Bitcoin is not in a bull market. Bitcoin is in its pre-halving year, and the pre-halving year for Bitcoin, we talked about that quite a lot, is 2023 right now, but 2019. 2015. And if you look at 2019, we at the bottom, we went up very hard. People called it a bull market, but we almost came down to that low again before the real bull market started. And that only happened after the halving, really, right? And the same goes for 2015. We had the bottom, we went up for the first half of the year, but in the second half of the year, we made a low right there. Right? So it's not really a bull market, and that doesn't really apply right now, in my opinion. Once we really do see a bull market, it does apply. So you're not only taking less risk if you are first mostly in Bitcoin, but you also just make more gains. That's just how it works. So if you put that's what I'm doing at least, putting my money into Bitcoin, right? Half of the bull market, then convert my Bitcoin into altcoins, and with the profits that I made from Bitcoin, ride the altcoin bull market. You can already, of course, choose to buy altcoins right now, but there's a big downside to that. And that's this, like we've been talking about these 4-year cycles, right? Well, if you apply the 4-year cycle, what we basically base everything on, and you take it exactly 4 years back. So at the moment of recording, it's the 8th of September. Well, if we go to the 8th of September 2019, look at the top 30 only. Zcash, Inocoin, Ontology, Nem, Maker, well, okay, fine, some still apply. But my point is there are a lot of projects that are not around anymore. Bitcoin Cash was number 4, for fuck's sake, right? Or that are way down the list. And that's the top 30. I bet you that if we go lower in this list, you will see a lot of altcoins that you probably do not even know about. Grin, Beam, XMAX, VestChain, Zcoin, Metaverse, ETP. Even then they already had Metaverse though. They were way ahead that time. But all these coins are nowhere to be found. My point is that even when everything seems to get bullish, Bitcoin ETF, halving is coming, people YOLO into altcoins, where are the altcoins from the last cycle? This phase of the market, altcoins can and will still die. And the problem is, you do not know if the altcoin that you are buying is going to survive or not. You maybe think you know because it's a good altcoin, but I bet you that the people that bought these altcoins in the last cycle thought the same, right? Therefore, they have such a high market cap right here because everybody was bullish about it. But 4 years later, nobody gives a fuck about these altcoins. Very simple, because they get replaced or whatever the reason is. They just fade away. That's just what happens. So therefore, and if it does survive, you do not know how low it can go. A lot of altcoins are still making lower lows, especially on their Bitcoin pair, right? So therefore, again, if we look at Arweave, for example, still making lower lows, like this is dying against Bitcoin, but people are still buying this. Otherwise, we don't see these green candles, right? But the problem is like, okay, so you buy a risky altcoin for obviously less reward. So what? Why won't you, if it already does bad against Bitcoin, why would you buy this? Why don't you just buy Bitcoin then? And definitely it's not the case that you have to be a Bitcoin maxi to say that. You just have to know how to adjust to the market, right? If Bitcoin does well and altcoins suck, then why the fuck would you throw your money into altcoins? Then you can be called whatever you want, but you're just making the most out of it and at least not losing money. And that's what you want to do it for, right? For example, this coin has been down 90% against Bitcoin, an asset that's also 60% down against the dollar. yeah, beats me why you buy this. Sorry. So therefore, I am happy to buy Bitcoin, maybe some Ethereum later, which is also fine. Ride the bull market and then look, hey, what altcoins are doing good against their Bitcoin pair, which survived, which have a good narrative, and then get into those altcoins. But, you know, there's no rush. And I sometimes feel like people feel like there is a rush before there's an alt season. Well, I showed you a couple of charts that indicate that there is no real alt season coming anytime soon, and that's a guarantee. So why would you do that? If you look at the total tree divided by Bitcoin, so this is the altcoin market on its Bitcoin pair basically, right? What do you see? Well, what I see is the top of the range, the downside of the range. Went down, went to the top, went down, went to the top. We have a giant distribution phase. I always said a market has 4 cycles: accumulation, uptrend, distribution, downtrend, and it starts all over again. How does this look? Accumulation, uptrend, distribution, and the downtrend has started. Doesn't mean that the downtrend is going down in one straight line. Like, yes, we go down, up, down, up, down, up. Doesn't mean we can go down even further. But these moves up are exactly for people in altcoins to believe like, hey, these altcoins are going to do well again. Look, it's up with 2% or whatever, maybe even 40, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just noise when you look at the big picture. Plus, I've showed this before, but if you're a new watcher, this is super interesting. When was the best time to buy altcoins on their Bitcoin pair? Well, here in the first week of 2021, right? Now, what did Bitcoin do in the first week of 2021? Was sitting here. It was sitting at the highs of $42,000. In your perspection, I don't know. It came from 3K and it went to 70. So 40K, that's more than half of that bull market already. So you could have really first rode half of the bull market with Bitcoin, and only then was the very best moment to convert that Bitcoin into altcoins. And even if you feel like, man, I don't care about Bitcoin, I just don't want to buy Bitcoin, so this doesn't matter. It does. It does, because altcoins were going down against Bitcoin, right? So you were literally making more profits if you would have bought Bitcoin instead of altcoins and then convert that Bitcoin that made you profits to altcoins. In hindsight, it looks very easy, right? If you've done this, then that, and then you make money. But this does show us, like, hey, how is the market moving, right? This right here is data from the last 6 years right now. And it's playing out the exact same way right now. It's not that it's playing out completely different and I'm saying like, hey, let's do that again. It's playing out the exact same. Therefore, I'm putting a lot of eggs in that basket as well, right? Here, we went down and now we are ranging here. What did we do last cycle? We went down, we went ranging for half a year before we had our second leg down. That was in a matter of July 2018, May. It took almost a year, right? We're now here since June this year. So yeah, altcoins could go sideways a long time against Bitcoin before they finally go down. And maybe they don't. Maybe I'm completely wrong. That could, of course, be. But like, I do follow the charts, right? And until the chart is saying something different, it would be very unwise of me to say that it's going to be different. Like, if yeah, I don't know, man. If a line looks like this, yeah, I cannot say it's going down now. It's going down now. It's going down now. Like, that doesn't make sense. Wait until it goes down, and then you can at least say like, all right, the downtrend has started. Right? This is pretty clear. So when will we see that alt season? Very simple. Well, let me check. Bitcoin really started its, bull run at September 2020, basically, right? I wouldn't be surprised if the bull run now starts in kind of the same July, August, September 2024, the real bull run. All right, so let me put there a white line around there. Okay, this is where Bitcoin will start its bull run, in my opinion. Just a prediction, okay, based on the cycles and the halving and all of that. Now, altcoins, September it was. Altcoins started to run in January, right? So that's around like September, October, November, December, January. 4 or 5 months later. Well, if you take it 4 or 5 months later from July, it's August, September, October, November, December, give or take. So end 2024. Somewhere, right? So my, what I'm doing is from now on, this. DCA into Bitcoin, wherever the hell it goes, up, down, doesn't matter, having sideways for maybe a month or two, and then write my Bitcoin back, right? And the targets here are like, I'm just drawing a line, I don't mind the prices. Write my Bitcoin back, make money, right? Then, when and if this is at this point right here, you know, maybe it's coming earlier, maybe later, maybe never, I don't know, but I expect that. Converting my Bitcoin into altcoins and then ride the altcoin wave way higher. Like I said earlier, a lot of people aim for 100x's, so they look for low cap, risky fucking coins. What ends up happening all the time basically is that these people lose their money. But 100x in crypto, I don't know. You can make a very simple math. If you first make a 10x with Bitcoin and then make that another 10x with altcoins, then you also have 100x. And no, it's not 20. That's not how it works. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I don't expect an alt season really until Q4 2024. And again, it could of course be that the dominance maybe even does this. I don't know. I don't expect it, but it could. People will scream and call and cheer for an alt season. And again, technically it is. But in my book, this is an alt season. This is an alt season, okay? This is an alt season. This is a small alt season. You didn't even say small alt season. I'm talking about an alt season. So that's kind of how I'm playing it. When alt season and how to prepare for it. I have to think what the best title is going to be so everybody watches this. I don't want to be clickbaity. I hope the content is good as well as you like it. Also, shout out to the Patreon members. They got a lot of this inside information very early, a lot of exclusive videos. So I hope you enjoy being there. If you are not there yet, there is a link down below and in the comments. Go check it out. Early calls, coins, NFTs, exclusive videos, my portfolio. So definitely check it out. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notification so you won't miss out on next one. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.